Welcome back to Afternoon Live. We know the holidays can be a stressful time for adults, but what about the kids? Here to share more, we welcome back the author of Doing It All, pediatrician and mom, Dr. Whitney Casares. It's so great to see you.
Good to see you too.
I am feeling the holiday overwhelm, so this is perfect timing for us to have this little chat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure that parents and caregivers can feel this time of year to literally do it all, as the title of your book suggests.
Yeah. So there are two reasons why we feel so much pressure. Well, three really. One, there's the pressure of society that says, oh my gosh, here's the way to make Christmas or the holidays in general magical, magical, magical. Puts all this pressure on us. Then there's the family pressure of going to see your in-laws and spending time in beds that you don't normally sleep in. I can't help you tons with that, but I can help you with the last pressure, which is the pressure that we put on ourselves.
It's true.
Right? That we say we have to do all of these things or else the holidays aren't perfect. And the reality is sometimes that backfires on us. It just makes it miserable.
I'm trying to create a lot of magic, and then you're right. The flip side of that is I'm a little bit tired and stressed out. And then our kids can feel our stress too, right?
Yes. So that interaction between a parent's stress and a child's stress is not only real, it's scientifically based. So we know that when we feel like we are overwhelmed, when we feel like there's too much that we can do, we can't actually be the parents that we want to be. We're more likely to snap at our kids. We're more likely to make reactive decisions with them. And also, we're less likely to focus on the priorities that we want to have during the holiday season, which is to be joyful with our kids, to make connections, to make memories that actually last.
Well, and if we are carrying that stress around all the time, it can manifest physically in our bodies, right?
Yes, in our own bodies, with headaches, with more fatigue, with stomach aches, with feeling like we can't fall asleep. And then also it can manifest in our kids.
Right.
So we can see our kids become more irritable. We can see them being mean to their siblings. We can see them being more tired or unable to sleep. We can see constipation, issues like that. So tons of reasons to focus on stressing less.
Yes, so let's talk about, you have some tips for us, some ideas to relieve some of this and actually have a happier holiday season. We just have to kind of take some pressure off of ourselves, right?
Okay, so number one, we have to decide on what are the key, most important events that we want to attend with our family. And we need to decide that if we get to the point where we feel really stressed out, we can give ourselves permission to back out of them. Especially because a lot of those traditions that we've built over the years, like zoo lights, which is awesome, or the nutcracker, or the holiday tea, they're so great when our kids are little, but over time, sometimes our kids don't even care. My kids this year, I asked them at the beginning of the season, do you care about X, Y, Z? They're like, nah, we actually want to stay home and watch holiday movies.
Oh.
That is a cheaper, less stressful version of the holidays. So maybe, might be too late at this point to not plan so many events. But once you get into it and you're like, I feel like I'm driving myself crazy. Okay, back it off. So that's number one. Number two is when it comes to the presents and that feeling of, I haven't gotten enough for my kids. Oh no, they're going to be disappointed. It's not too late, if you haven't already, to make a little wish list with your kids. Have them make a list to say, these are the things that are the most important to me, that I would just love it if Santa gave me. These things don't matter as much. And then pick a couple things from that top list if you feel like you haven't already purchased them already, right? Less is more when it comes to gifts with our kids. We know that kids who have too much stuff, it just creates clutter and it makes them so that they're actually a lot more entitled. So pick the things that actually matter to your kids and matter to you versus having a plethora of gifts.
Okay, and how about, and while you're kind of pulling back maybe on certain traditions, actually scheduling that downtime too, because it can be hard to find those quiet moments if it's not literally penciled into the calendar.
Yes, 100%, schedule it. And I hear lots of pushback on this from moms like, I can't take 5 minutes to myself. Yes, you can. You are worth 5 minutes. It could look like this. 5 minutes in your car on the way home from work, where you just park around the corner. I park around the corner all the time so my kids can't see me, and listen to like your favorite Mariah Carey song.
Amazing.
5 minutes of you taking a walk around the block and busting out your favorite Justin Bieber album. Like 5 minutes with your partner at the end of the day, choosing to have a glass of wine before you put on maybe the Netflix. Right? Like, what is one little chunk of time that you can take for yourself to just relax and to de-stress?
Well, and on top of that, there are ways where we can maybe maintain at least some of our routine without everything going totally haywire, because I feel dysregulated sometimes when the schedule doesn't make any sense as opposed to what I'm expecting in a usual day.
Yeah, 100%, especially during the holiday break that's coming up.
Yeah.
If your kids are normally in school or normally at preschool or normally at daycare and they're home with you, try to create a little mini schedule. Now, I am not all about color coding and making it like blocks of time.
Doesn't have to be super fancy.
Doesn't have to be fancy or expensive, but it could look like, okay, in the morning for the first hour that we wake up, we're going to do breakfast. Then we're going to go do a movement activity outside.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do some arts and crafts, eat lunch, and then, okay, great, we'll see where the day takes us. But that gives you at least a little bit of structure and that connection time with your kids.
That helps so much. It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for all this helpful stuff.
Great to see you.
I feel better already. You have a wonderful holiday.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.